Show no shame.
Hey, and we are live. Welcome to the third episode of Show No Shame, where we have no shame and we speak freely for you. I'm joined once again by my brother, Jken.
What up?
Jken Mirsch. And we have a new one of the SNS crew, Carter Wilkes, or Carter Bodacious, as he's aptly named.
Hey, what up?
So just since this podcast is in its infancy and we're just getting things rolling and whatever, I always want to start the episodes now sort of just along the lines of asking what you're about, because obviously for most of the people listening, they don't know you.
Give us an intro to who you are.
Okay. Who are you, though?
What are you about?
Essentially, you're becoming a therapist.
Yes.
You know,
that is true.
Studying the human condition.
Yep.
And so, yeah, just like, tell us your background, man. Like, obviously we know because we grew up with you in LA and coming from here. So,
yeah, I mean, so I grew up here in Los Angeles. I grew up as like a skater kid, you know, someone trying to be rebellious, and it backfired later down the line. But essentially what led me to psychology was a lot of the experiences that both Ben, Jken, and myself have had have definitely been some rough runs. And at the end of it, you know, I started learning that I always wanted to help people. And because of that, that led me to psychology, and then the philosophy of psychology and all the different approaches, all the different kinds of people out there. I was just so intrigued and pretty much just straight up infatuated. So I became obsessed, and currently I'm in grad school. I'm doing my master's in clinical psychology. I specialize in trauma, and hopefully, you know, later down the road, I'll get my doctorate.
You're going to make me cry.
Oh, yeah?
Seriously, I'm crying tears. Like your mom's somewhere not crying because she's a very happy, lovely lady. But I'm crying for her right now, Carter.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think that's a part of it, though. Like I feel like any quote unquote healthy therapist is going to want to sort of go through their own traumas in life. You know what I mean? Almost like, you know, like Tony Soprano's, you know, therapist in the show.
Yeah.
She had her own shit going on, and she would go rant about Tony to her therapist and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I think that, yeah, you have to go through the trials and tribulations of life to really, you know, find yourself in a beautiful place and be able to help other people in a really, I guess, profitable way for their own well-being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, also at the end of the day, whenever it comes to being a clinician, you know, as much as people want to take the role of power being the therapist, they are just as much as the client also, because it's a learning experience for them as well. No one's ever knowing. So each client you meet, you grow as a therapist.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of patients, you know, will come into sessions thinking they're omniscient and just like, you know, I am my own God.
Yes, there's definitely those rare few that come in with a gnarly complex in their head or a narrative where they feel that they control the world.
Well, yeah, and it's super admirable that you'll throw yourself on those, you know, train tracks for the betterment of even society in a very sort of grandiose way.
I hope so.
I mean, it'll happen, especially in this fucked up town.
Yeah, I mean, business is booming in Los Angeles.
Yeah, for real.
I feel like any major city in general, just by the way people struggle.
That's very true. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different states out there that have their own struggles, but you know, also each state has different mental health laws. So it sucks because some places you can't really accommodate someone who is suffering from a mental illness because they don't have the funds for it.
Accessibility.
They don't care.
Right.
And it's just like, I feel like, you know, whether it's physical health or mental health, that is a human right to have. You should never be denied that.
Facts. 100%.
Everyone needs someone to talk to.
Very true. Whether it's a therapist or your friends.
And except you will get paid for it.
Yeah, I'll get paid for it.
But see, there's a serious, significant place for that, I feel like. Because talking to your friends or your significant other, that only goes so far. Because after a certain point, that'll wear on those relationships.
Yep. Yeah, so they definitely will.
A therapist is somebody you're comfortable with, and honestly, just like a punching bag.
Yeah.
If you need it that
way. But
way.
able to also provide you with the professionalism of like, hey, like, you know, just I mean, because you're more than there to just listen. Like you can give professional help.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
could, offer, behavioral goals or tools that could help them with,
And I know you can't say like, oh, you should do this or
Right,
do that.
yeah.
Like, and I know I understand that. I do understand that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's great and it's important. I mean, like for anyone out there who hasn't tried it, I definitely think it's worth trying.
yeah,
You know?
it's definitely worth a
If
try.
you're having trouble with whatever, it's nice to talk to someone outside of your circle or your kind of like
your like
life.
immediate social
Yeah.
group. The
Yeah.
big thing is the fact that when you see a professional clinician, you're being given a unbiased opinion and perspective, which
Right.
could open up new avenues
Right.
and things you may have never thought about before. So that's why it's so important, in my opinion, to at least give therapy a try if you are in a time of hardships. But at the end of the day, being a clinician, it's all about the therapist opening up the door. The client is the one that has to walk through it.
Agreed.
It's so true. And I mean, so many people almost like a timid street dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's, people that come from traumatic backgrounds or are suffering with, depression or OCD or any kind of ailment that is detrimental to their functioning. It's really hard to approach helping them without them already being guarded. So
Right.
it's about trying to break down that wall and make them feel comfortable.
It's true. And it's like somebody put this to me in the perfect analogy actually today, because, I woke up feeling a little down. Maybe it's because I'm not a fucking morning person. And
I feel that.
To you morning people, I hate you and just become nocturnal like the rest of us should be. But yeah, they put it in the perfect way. It was, they said, if you broke your leg or you had a physical ailment, would you not, why put off going to see a physician? Yeah, right. Jken's flipping me off with his little hand. But yeah, it's like, why would you put that off? If you had, psoriasis, you'll go get that taken care of.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like too many people are so quick to, cross their fingers, in a biblical cross, like at psychology.
Yes.
And,
yeah. It's definitely rough.
But, with people like yourself and then sites coming up like Talkspace, which I think is an awesome, platform where people, if what bothers them is going to see the doctor face to face or whatever, they can have a conversation. They can, broach those topics that they have trouble talking about in a way that makes them feel comfortable, and they can open up and become, and it all ends up being healthier in the long run. And I think more people need to tap into that source for themselves.
Oh, definitely. I mean, recently, Ben, Jken, and myself went to a buddy's wedding in Missouri. And the hard thing was whenever, earlier when I was talking.
That was Jay, by the way.
Huh?
I wasn't.
He
there.
wasn't
Oh my
there.
God, I'm so
He
sorry.
wasn't
I wasn't
there.
able to make it. But to
So-
Pete and Amy, God bless. I'm so happy for you. Go ahead.
Yes, congrats to you
Go
too.
ahead.
The big thing that's interesting, because psychology isn't always welcomed in from certain perspectives, which is understandable, and it was quite I guess the best way to put it is a bit of a shock, because when I was at our friend's wedding, meeting some new people, and they asked like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Da 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 da. I was like, "Oh, I'm in grad school. I'm doing my master's in psychology." Quite a few of them were, lackluster the word, not stoked. They're just like, "Oh, psychology, like,
Really?
is that just like voodoo?" I'm like, "What the fuck? This isn't voodoo. It's empirical science. It's about trying to help one another." But again, it's like different perspectives for psychology is kind of scary. It's like I get frowned upon.
So I actually have a question for you. Like people who are like hardcore believers in God and don't believe in like modern medicine. I forget what that's called. I'm totally drawing a blank right now.
Scientology? No, I'm kidding.
Homeopathic?
Like they don't want to go see doctors, or they don't want to take their kids to go see doctors because they don't believe in modern medicine and they think that God's
Amish?
No. No. But my question was, like, for those people, do they see therapy as the same thing as not wanting to get that kind of help? Does that fall under the same category as a doctor for them, like, not going because they think it's against God's will? I'm just curious, like, because I don't know. And I'm just curious to know if you know.
I mean, there's no concrete answer to that, right or wrong. The thing is, when it comes to seeking psychotherapy, it's more so not just, how the individual is feeling, but also their philosophies and ideals. And, some people believe that going to therapy is weak, which is a stigma that's been created over many, many years, which is
like a weak characteristic of a person.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Especially for males, unfortunately, because, there's been that whole traditional view that men have to be all powerful
Strong,
and, hold their feelings in, even though they're just as human as anybody else.
Wow. I never even would think that.
Yeah. It's just the hard thing too. And when religion gets put in the picture, it's hard to try to understand unless you understand that religion explicitly, because in my opinion, I feel like, religion plays a huge factor on how we behave, but overall, it helps us create our own moral compass.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So it's like, once you kind of learn about whomever you're seeing and what they practice, if you research their religion, in which, by the way, it is never the therapist's duty to have the client explain to them of their background. That is the clinician's responsibility to research it, to accommodate their client. They should never be asking the questions. They should be the ones that are trying to find what's going on and what's the best healthy, positive route for the individual.
Yeah, because that seems like it would be a huge breach of ethics.
Exactly. It would be a massive, massive breach. And it's quite sad because, in psychology, when it comes to ethics, cultural appropriateness is a huge deal. And some people don't look at that as an ethical issue. They look at that as like a normal society thing. I'm like, no, that is an ethical issue in the room. You need to accommodate your client on all standards.
And that's so crazy though, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's
that's wild.
It's very sad that it's even still brought up in discussion today, because it shouldn't. It should only be about the therapist helping the client on all spectrums and backgrounds, not being like, oh, I don't want to do this, so I'm just going to ask the client.
Right.
Doesn't really show too much initiative as a bloody clinician, It's
one thing I will say, though, that is pretty cool, in my opinion, that I think is really cool about your job is, like, you kind of, like, get to experience a little bit of everyone's jobs, So, like, yes, obviously you have, like, social aspects that become a major factor in what you do and stuff like that. Most people probably talk about the things that bother them in society or social standards or personality, stuff like that. But, like, I feel like you really get to experience a lot of stuff where, let's say, an artist or a designer comes to you with problems and they're just like, it's really giving me a mental block with my next creative piece, and I'm not finding the right motivation or drive because of something. And, this is what I do. Or you find a person that's a race car driver and, they talk about their problems with something. And it's like, I feel like it's cool that you get to kind of dibble dabble in all the different aspects
of the human condition, really.
Yeah, and it's cool.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah,
because it's like there's never a dull moment.
Exactly.
For that.
It's like it's different. It's not like, oh, you're the same. You're
right.
the same. You're the same. It's not like.
And at that
that
point, you're learning just as much as your patient is.
Exactly. It's like we mentioned earlier. Being a therapist isn't just about having this concrete perspective where you're all knowing. I'm also learning. Each person that I hopefully get to meet in the future is going to help me learn about different perspectives that I may have never seen before.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like a gift in disguise. It's like, even though this job can be really rough at times, there's so many great things about it, especially for learning tools, so it's
very cool.
It's fucking awesome.
Very cool.
You're a superhero, Carter.
Thank you.
Super Bodacious.
As he was playing Deadpool 2 as I walked into his crib.
Yep.
Oh, you downloaded that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I just downloaded that today.
Dude. Okay, so for anybody who hasn't seen Deadpool 2, I don't know why you haven't seen it yet. Maybe, okay, maybe you didn't want to see it with your boyfriend. Maybe you didn't want to see it with your girlfriend. Maybe you didn't want to go to Comic-Con with her as she cosplayed. I don't know. You should still fucking see the
Why would
movie
you not
because
wanna
it's
go
just a
there?
fun fucking movie. And Ryan Reynolds redid the stigma of how a superhero is supposed to act. And I know
Yeah.
that's Deadpool's demeanor, but that's just like,
But it's him. That's
it's
like
him.
him.
Ryan Reynolds is
That's
literally
who he plays,
Deadpool's doppelganger.
Yeah.
and whoever at Marvel at the time when they cast him for the first one was who was like, you know what, give him a second shot. Like, I know he fucked up Green Lantern, but that wasn't his fault. It was like, give him another shot.
The great thing is he was able to
Out
make
of
a
the park.
joke of it, you know?
Yeah.
Even though he knew that the movie flopped, he still made a joke about it. He didn't like let it deter his,
Yeah,
his
he
career. He was
thrives
just
on
like,
it.
yeah, I want to keep going.
No, and I love it. I mean,
He is
you know,
one of the few that got to redo twice because yes, Green Lantern and Deadpool from the Wolverine movie.
Oh,
Was that
that's right.
X-Men
I
Origins?
forgot. And he
Yeah.
had like his mouth.
and
shut.
not to mention, he kind of played Deadpool in that fucking Blade 3 movie.
I know.
In Trinity
I
with the
know.
two
Yeah,
katanas
yeah,
and shit. He
yeah.
kind of did. They
But
kinda
I mean,
ripped
he
Deadpool.
even played on that because I forget if it was the first Deadpool or the second one, and he's holding the action figure
All right.
of the version 1 Deadpool he played. Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah,
god,
that was
funny.
It was great. It was great. I like that. I like that he thrives on that shit.
And I like that the Marvel was really willing to let the writers. Let me fucking talk, mouth. I'm glad that Marvel was willing to let the writers have that humor and
Oh,
play it
for
out in
sure.
credits,
For
opening
sure.
credits, and they're like written by some hack or something like that, where it's
yeah,
just
it's like, oh,
hilarious.
that always British evil guy in a movie.
Right? Yeah, straight up. Anyway, yeah. Hey, props to you, Ryan Reynolds. I want to meet you someday and interview you and just hang out.
Me too.
He kind of realized he did the DC thing and was like, damn, Marvel does it better. But if you want to hear more about that, go to the last podcast.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, we're not rehashing more than that. And also just to say to everybody who lives in California, specifically Southern to almost midway California, whatever you're going through, just know that, everybody is supporting you with these fires going on because, some countries have, and even states have tornadoes, have tsunami alerts. We have fires and,
Devastating.
devastating.
Yeah.
Wealthy or not, I'll always have sympathy. Economics doesn't even play a factor in this. So it's like people have really spent, some of whom their whole lives building up a home for them, their kids and whatnot. And, to have this happen again.
Yeah.
Get fire insurance if you don't have it already, people.
Yeah, or install roof sprinklers
Yeah.
just in case.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for real. Like your house,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
when the
that
West
was-
LA fires were going on.
That was scary. That was definitely a very daunting experience.
Man, I can only imagine. That's scary. I mean, I had it going through in like Malibu. I lived in a trailer park, people, just so you know. I'm not trying to stunt.
They're the nicest trailer parks you've ever seen.
They're the 150 grand Airstreams.
Yeah.
I leased.
Lease.
And then we had black mold and had to move. So thank you, Point Doom Club.
Oh, God.
But Lily's Burritos, you still kick ass. Oh shit, I shouldn't.
Ah.
No, you know what? I shouldn't have blown up the spot. I shouldn't have blown it
Why
up.
are you doing it? And everyone's
already-
they're
it's
gonna start
already busy
Googling it, or if you're a weirdo like Carter, you'll Yelp everything instead of using Google.
Look, I don't know what it is. I really like Yelp.
Are you
Sometimes
still-
it's a wee bit
Yeah?
dodgy, but
Are you still on MySpace?
No.
Do you know Tom?
He's on LiveJournal, bro.
I've known Tom since
You know what?
2009. We're homies.
This
No,
fool-
I'm just playing. I have no idea. who
This
it
fool isn't even on Tinder or Bumble. He has a fake profile on JDate. No, but seriously, like reach out to any of your community organizations and get any help you can, because it's scary times for you, and we know that.
There's a lot of charities going on right now and fundraisers. If you look it up, there's a plethora of information out there. So
Yeah.
definitely look into it if you can.
Yeah. So, on to somewhat funnier things. So you guys were asking me earlier about 50 Cent pulling the money off the strip club stage.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what?
All right. So I'll explain this scenario because I love 50 Cent's pettiness. He is the most petty.
Yeah.
He is petty Pendergrass. He's petty Wop.
Seriously?
Oh, what?
Well, I mean, I honestly, I
Yeah,
didn't
all
know
right.
about this, so
All
I'm
right.
still kind of like.
Have you seen him on
registering.
Instagram? He'll drag anybody the fuck out.
Oh, that's fun.
Anyway, no, he's hilarious. He should do stand up. I think he should do stand up.
Well, I remember when he did that whole Schmidt with what was it, Mayweather, and he put out
Yeah.
those videos. That was brutal.
Yeah. Oh, it was like Floyd. We know those pages in Harry Potter or might be too many words for you, so we're gonna let you read Cat in the Hat. He's like, I don't need the ice bucket, man. Throws it off the balcony. Yeah, no. So he was at a strip club. To be honest, I didn't pay too much attention to it, but to know which strip club where.
Mm.
But so he made it rain, and then put in the money, press the button, dollars fall,
Yeah.
and then afterwards, you just see this video go viral of him taking money off the stage. Of where he's just
That's
just
so
literally
dodgy.
hugging money off the stage, right? And just like walks away with it, like a pissed off kid in Toys R Us who didn't get his Lego set. And but you know what? Justifiably, I actually want to know y'all's opinion on this. Is he justified it later on after the video went viral because the optics were fucked up, and he justified it by saying, you know what? It was poor customer service, which makes you laugh, but you think you're going to a strip club for what? Like entertainment. You're getting to have that experience. You're getting to have women that you're not, necessarily paying for, a sexual service, but you're getting paid for that.
It's like a live show.
That elusive
it's like
flirtation.
going to a show.
Yeah. You're trying to get that cabaret, but touchy feely.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting that, or even a smile,
Yeah.
I can't lie. I'd probably do the same.
I mean, if I had the money to make it rain, I'd probably make sure it's a good moment to make it rain.
I'm just saying, if you're a stripper and you're on, if you're a stripper and you're on stage and you're frowning, you're kind of in the wrong profession.
So, and that was the thing that like I was reading this thing and like they were talking about that whole thing that happened with him, and they, according to 50 Cent, I guess the dancer was, quote, providing poor customer service.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
So he took his money back. And then then later, like, I don't know if it was the bartenders or one of his homies or whatever, was saying that he didn't take his money. He was taking he wasn't taking their money. He was taking his money that just happened to also be right there in this piles of money. And then he took it to the bar because all the strippers started fighting him over the money and shit. And he was like, I'm not having this. Like, so
it's hard for me to be like, okay with that, just because it's like, all right, let's say you're going out, you're having a nice date night, you go to a cool restaurant, you get some food, all of a sudden you don't like it, and then you just don't pay.
Yeah,
it sounds like the exact same.
Doesn't work like that.
Okay, when you put it that way, that's okay. Yeah, now he's grimy.
Yeah, because it's like he gives himself some kind of a more of like a god complex.
Yeah,
it's like look, you paid for a service, they did their dues. Maybe it wasn't the best,
bro,
but
maybe it was.
They still did something.
If you're trying to flex, don't be that dude who takes his money back because you are no longer flexing now. All right, like you're looking like a cheap motherfucker.
Well, you just look like a straight up chump.
Well, and the fact that phones now can record in 4K. You don't look that great in 4K.
Which, granted, you're not supposed to have phones at the strip club. I'm just saying.
It is true. You need to respect the.
That's a good point. And the camera angle on the video kind of looked like somebody was on stage filming that shit.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, maybe the girls. Let's be real. Like big name, 50 Cent. Maybe they don't care.
Maybe it's that, or it's I don't know. The whole situation just does not sound right.
They want that clout. That's me stripping in front of 50 Cent.
Don't say it, Jken.
Clout level 9,000.
He had to say the C word.
Yeah. The only C word I'll ever say.
There you go. He's a good guy. He's a good guy, ladies and gentlemen.
Me or 50 Cent.
He's probably up the street just laughing right now at himself. No, that was some shit though. Like, I just wish I had the opportunity. I think I did when we all went to Vegas and we were at Spearmint Rhino.
To blow loads of money?
To go to a strip
and then take it back?
No.
Oh
if we
yeah,
had
see
that
which one?
opportunity-
Yeah.
No, you would have remembered that.
You're throwing
no.
us off right now.
No, you would have remembered that shit. No.
Would like to hope so.
No, to make it rain.
Oh, I thought we were still
just wanna
talking
make
about
it rain
going to the
for
strip
once.
club with 50 Cent.
Well, that would be dope.
I don't know. I'm like a weird motherfucker where if I had like that kind of money, I wouldn't be making it rain. I'd probably be buying some really stupid shit for myself. That's not a lap dance.
Well, I'm pretty sure if 50
Comes
Cent
back
knows
with like a windbreaker and
Yo, this dude started vitamin water. I'm not tripping. Like he has the money.
that's true, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the money to do both. You know what I mean?
But
But
he's an entrepreneur at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then another thing I saw that happened this week was, so you guys know Alex Jones, right? Like Infowars and everything else. The loudest, most annoying voice on the internet, aside from our president. I hate saying our president.
I know, right?
The Donald.
The idiot.
The idiot. No,
The
straight up.
self-righteous idiot.
This dude needs to like. This dude's got a ShamWow on his head.
Yeah, facts.
But Alex Jones actually just got kicked off YouTube, Facebook, and actually Apple disavowed Alex Jones as well off of their platform. I don't know where the fuck he would be on their platform. Maybe his podcast.
They removed his Apple ID. That is no longer void.
That's some shit.
That would be horrible.
So he's got the green bubble now?
like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, you can't buy an iPhone.
Dude, nobody trusts you with the green bubble.
No, I don't even respond to people, dude. I'm gonna give that shit a time of day. If Apple, if you're listening, you need to develop some shit that I can turn off green text. So if you have an Android, I can't even fucking read your shit. I won't even receive it.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, it's like you, at least with calling, you can't tell if they have an Android or an Apple. So if something pressing really came up, they could always call you. That's actually some shit.
I hate it too. Like I'll get a text like, "Yo, what are you doing tonight?" "Oh, hey man, I'm at work." "Yo, I sent that last night." Well, I didn't fucking get it until like the next day.
Yeah.
You know, I hate it.
Yeah. But apparently they banned him for, just in my opinion, I feel like minus all politically correct statements and press statements aside, I think they banned him because his platform is too big that there's a certain point where they need to rewrite. I was talking to the homie Patrick today, and Patrick, shouts out to you because you'll be on this soon enough. Don't worry about it. And I was talking to him about it today, and we were talking about how his voice has such a wide reach. He casts such a big net. That
Keep in mind, people, this dude gets around 10 million views per month on his.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
He literally is like the grocery store tabloid of the internet.
What was like, what was it? Remember those old ads where it was like those evangelical, if I'm saying that correctly, like church speeches where they're trying to sell, their prayers and grace. It's kind of like the same concept.
Yeah, but this fool's not.
Marketing-wise.
Yeah, but he's doing like fake shit, fake news, like Ben said, tabloid shit.
Well,
like,
he's doing like 20 to 30% real news, and he's doing salacious conspiratorial shit.
Yeah, the rest
with
is
the
substituted
patina
with
of
that.
it being legitimate.
So pretty much like propaganda.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And so I think them banning him was prudent because it's like at a certain point they need to rewrite what we were talking. Me and Patrick were talking about today is there needs to be new laws written for like the Paul brothers and fucking trash on the internet who's just like have such a impactful voice. Sadly, that libel and slander, those laws need to be rewritten for what goes on vloggers and YouTubers and influencers and blah blah blah. Because I feel like Alex Jones may get some lawsuits, and he's probably settling out of court with a lot of those. I don't know that, but
who knows what extra pocket money he has.
It's all the dietary.
But it's my
supplement
thought
stuff.
that the reason he'll probably win these or cases will get thrown out is because there literally aren't laws in place to stop him from speaking his mind. When it's like, no, it's my program. I can say and do what I want because of freedom of speech.
For his own website, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people listening right now, like basically YouTube, as one of their reasons, they said that it was because he violated their community terms of use. And let's be real, there is tons of people on YouTube who are probably violating that. But as Ben said, because he has such like a wide range,
He's got such a big
of
population.
with his following, it's like, okay, well, now you're just doing slander, but across millions of people, this becomes dangerous for our platform because you're putting it out through us.
Yeah, there should be a law that represents social irresponsibility.
Yeah, it's just like journalism. You know, it's like you really need to be cautious of what you put out there.
You do get freedom of speech, but there's a limitation on it. Like,
There's limitations, and I think that anybody that's contradicting their the platform's judgment, i.e., YouTube and whoever, I think that people are so quick to forget you're in their stadium.
Yeah,
You're playing in their
Yeah.
stadium, so you're playing by their
Their
rules.
You're
rules.
playing by their
Yep.
rules.
It's their
Yeah.
league. It's their shit. Like, they set the ground rules. You agreed to the terms of use, bro.
That's
Like,
very true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
So don't get
extremely true.
pissed off when you fuck up later on and you get kicked off that
he
shit.
clicked
Yeah.
agree on that Apple agreement. Right? Like,
You clicked agree?
yeah. We can now harvest your organs.
South Park fucking nailed that.
Got it.
Mm.
They always got it.
They always got
They
it.
always got it.
That's
I wish
true.
they put out more shit.
They
you
damn
know?
near have a crystal ball.
I know.
Wait, is South Park done?
They
No,
haven't.
no.
No, but they haven't put anything new out in a year.
Yeah, but they still have seasons on deck, right? Like they're still
They're still
going.
like in production to
Yeah.
do another
They
season.
just don't. Like, they never say they're done, but then they'll like wait a year. Like, there hasn't been a new episode, I think, in like a long time.
Well, with everything going on
I
with
don't
our
know. You follow
presidency,
all
I'm
that.
sure they have plenty of material to work with. Maybe that's why they're taking their time.
Well, they also put out video games too. So.
I actually, you know what's funny is you say a lot of material and there's a lot of extraneous stuff, but I think you mean Trump, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. But the thing is, I agree with like what Dave Chappelle said as far as the comedy side of things go. And the reason he hasn't touched Trump really is because he's like, it's hacky. In the comedy world, they're like, it's been done.
It's
like,
too easy at this point.
It's like a Bushism was back in the day. Like,
Right,
it's
yeah.
been done. Like,
Mhm.
there's. It's
And
just
is that where you-
now
you
it's
get,
just
like, a
Trump
target?
repeating his own fuckery. Now
Yeah.
it's just an embarrassment for our country because he's in that position. But
Yes.
it's hard to keep playing that same joke. Like, yes, we know Trump's an idiot, but
Yeah.
it's serious now. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just like, I think it paints a picture on your back as a target. Like it makes you come off as, this is my position. I don't like yours. I'm opposing.
That's
If
true.
If you guys didn't vote last term, please vote this term and
If you-
and speak your mind. Vote what you want to do. Don't do it because everyone else is saying. You know, don't vote for Trump. You know, I believe you should vote for whoever the fuck you want to. If you don't want to, I strongly suggest you don't. But
Vote on your own accords. Make sure it comes from your opinion and not someone else's.
you know, but I'll be honest, I've been reading a lot of stuff that say that, and I don't want to get political about this shit, but I read that there's a lot of people who think he will strongly get into a second term.
Unfortunately.
For real?
For real.
Yeah, it
and
really is
and I
looking
think
like
the
that.
problem the first
That's a
time
scary
around
thought.
that I hope doesn't happen the second term around is people being like, I'm not going to vote this year because like I don't need to worry about Trump because there's no way he could win.
Right.
Yeah. and
But
then
the
they'll win
problem
because they're not
was
voting.
so many people thought that who didn't vote. Now your shit doesn't matter.
What was it?
because
Only
you
like
didn't walk past
48% of the
it.
country or 43% voted?
You know what I'm saying?
About.
That's fucking scary numbers.
Yeah. Now
Like-
we're in Dante's Inferno.
It's just like,
Now every redneck and their cousin are like, I'm just.
but they always vote. You know, people like that always want to vote. Like, you know,
I'm just saying every redneck and their cousin is Lisa Marie! I thought Trump was supposed to benefit us. Nope.
Well, we're fucked.
Well, get out of bed and go make me some chicken and then figure out how we gonna make some money this year because Trump's fucking it up for all of us.
you know, it is what it is, I guess. But
Fuck, man.
Yeah. It's a huge bummer at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, it is. It really is. I mean, in every.
And we're the laughing stock of the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because
as
people
if we
make
weren't already before.
and people make that really grim Hitler comparison.
Mm.
I don't know if it sticks. The rhetoric does.
The rhetoric does, his actions don't.
He's
I
not-
mean, those are two planetary differences. I feel like Hitler had
Yes, that is
malice.
completely different.
Yeah, he had malice intentions. He wanted to commit genocide. Trump isn't technically doing that.
No,
but
he's more it's deportation, not
Yeah,
genocide.
and-
Okay,
and
There's
let's
strong
be and let's
difference.
be all the way clear right here. Even if you're playing with the word genocide, you fucked up already.
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
That's some serious territory that puts you in an awful position.
Yeah. So no, that's like Yeah, that's
He
embarrassing.
put himself in that position though.
Well, the guy's a bloody idiot.
You know.
I can't stand him.
But at least, like, man, this sucks because half the country, the whole middle bit, gonna.
they're all about it.
They're about to hate us for this.
They're unsubscribing.
They're about to.
Okay,
Yeah,
like-
for real,
yeah.
They're about to hate us for this next shit, which is like, and because of this, it's actually a karmic fucking miracle. But the NRA is about to apparently go bankrupt.
What?
Thank
What?
God.
Really?
Apparently, they're admitting to having financial struggles, which is
Huh.
weird because gun sales I thought were up
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
more lenient than ever. Apparently,
Yeah,
that's
for
what
sure.
every candidate ran on the last election. But yeah, so apparently there's a looming financial crisis over the NRA's head. Which is funny because I really feel like it emanates from all of these gun nuts spending all their money on guns, but they can't support the NRA. So their main voice and main lobbyists don't have the funds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We spent all our money on guns. I can't give you anything. I'll get you next term. I'll vote for you though.
But I
Voting's
got
free.
this great like M14. Like,
Voting's free, but Black Friday at Walmart took all my money.
oh my god.
No, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
I like some of the NRA stuff is scary if you've ever seen some of their ads because
I haven't.
it is bad. It is, I mean, it looks like straight up propaganda if I'm being honest. Like these are definitely probably not more so the videos that were done in today's age, but more so around like the 80s, early 90s maybe. But just the fact that hearing the NRA is having trouble does bring me pleasure. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody has a right to, bear whatever tool they want to defend themselves, but there is an extent to how much power you need in your household, because if you need
Yeah.
a multitude of assault rifles and shotguns, I don't know, what the hell are you doing every day that you need to have this much weaponry? I feel like it's not right.
You're preparing for the zombie apocalypse.
And in that
okay?
case, come see me in the future for therapy.
I don't know. I'm a believer of owning guns. Like I think they're good to have, And I get that some people have them because they live in a bad neighborhood or they've had something terrible happen in their past.
Yeah,
and
it's
they want
just
to
a way of,
feel
like-
protected,
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe some people suck at martial arts or whatever, but I think it just gives like more of a security feeling. It's like it is their security blanket.
Yeah.
And what is it? I think there's a statistic on it. Like 90% of people that own a gun actually never have to use it.
Yeah.
True.
Some-
And then
it's
what's the
something
other
like that.
statistic that like what most of the accidents that are related to guns happen in gun owners' households?
Yes.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking like, like some shit's going to
Mhm.
happen.
Yep. Just to reiterate, I'm not against guns. I'm just against the idea of having a full-on military arsenal that's hidden in your kitchen.
I think that'd be super awesome. Just in my opinion, because I think that the zombie apocalypse will happen someday.
I hope that we would never have to see that day. I feel
And
like
I know the government has like some contingency plan for that shit. Like,
definitely.
I think I saw that on a documentary somewhere that
Still though?
they like
Do you think they're that paranoid?
they low key have like a contingency plan for something like that. But no, like I know that there's a limit.
I'm sure the
to it.
CDC has something going on with that.
But you know what?
CDC I could buy.
There's
Yeah,
there's
CDC I
definitely
could buy.
like drawbacks to it. I remember one time when my place got robbed, we had like 3 guns. We had 2 rifles and a handgun, something like that.
Mm.
And they all got stolen,
Yeesh.
And it is such a hassle because you got to go to the police department. You got to
Yeah,
file
give 'em,
that
like,
shit
the
right
VIN
away.
numbers and everything.
You got to
like, this is
serial
my gun,
numbers.
it
You
was
got to make
stolen.
sure that like, because then there's a guilt factor of like, dope, I own a lot of guns. I'm safe. You go away for work, your house get robbed. Now all your stuff can now be used to hurt other people. And
Right,
and that is such a
Right.
shitty feeling of like,
My
wow,
weapons out there.
my weapon's out there,
Yeah.
or something happened to someone with something that I purchased that I thought would keep me safe. But
And not only
Exactly,
that,
yeah.
then you have the selfish paranoia of, oh shit, if the person that robbed me and took this from me goes and does something
You could be held
atrocious,
responsible.
yeah, you'll be held responsible for
Well,
it.
that's what I'm saying. If you file that right
For
away,
what is it called? Legally negligence?
legal
I
negligence.
have no idea, but that sounds right.
But if you
I'm just-
if you file, you're not at fault because it's
Yeah, as long as you
it's-
immediately go to the police and report the fact
If-
that your weapon was stolen
Yeah.
and then you give the VIN or serial number. I don't really know exactly how that works.
Yeah, you give them the serial number. They have a whole system because they
Yeah.
just look you up in the system and do that. But yeah, it's a shitty feeling. No one wants to go through that.
And I'm
Exactly.
all for, like, look, when I went to the shooting range and shot a pistol for the first time, a few months ago with a friend, I get it. You know what? Like, it illuminated a lot of stuff where it piqued my interest because I was like, why do people feel like they have, like,
The need to own a firearm?
or that feeling, the need to have that feeling of having something heavy in your hands and
sheer
you're pointing
power.
at a target and you want that acuity to hit in the bullseye. And, it's like, I've always loved archery. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. I'll go, shoot an arrow at a target. And to an extent, like, I really did understand it. The weird part for me was when I walked into an indoor gun range in Los Angeles in this fucking day and age, and there was an 18-year-old girl next to us in the firing line next to us. For those of you who don't know, they're aisles similar to a bowling alley where you go rent one and you buy your bullets and you know,
Or like a study commons at a university.
same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
little cubicles with
Yeah,
little
cubicles.
walls
Yeah.
like in between. And there was this brief speech like the guys at the gun range need to loosely train you by law. They run through
It's
almost
very loosely.
it's the
trained,
equivalent.
yeah.
It was fucking wild. It was the equivalent to the end of how commercials used to end.
Oh, with like pharmaceuticals. It's
medication?
like, oh, you'll feel so much better. And then the last 10 seconds.
May cause intestinal bleeding, anal bleeding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All that, like rallying it off. It was literally that for 5 minutes. And then he's like, all right, cool. Here's your pistol. Here's your bullets. Go.
It's like trying
And it was
to.
like, there was an 18-year-old girl. If she had this huge, weird smile on her face the whole time, aiming at the target or whatever, but she was still kind of shaking. I was fucking terrified.
Yeah.
And then she turns to the
Oh.
left, not with the
Wow.
gun, but the gun was down,
Okay,
thankfully.
okay.
But I'm just saying, like,
There's an etiquette
all it
to
takes is one absent-minded fucking dummy to turn to the left or the right, and then you get shot in the leg or worse.
Yeah, they could flinch and accidentally pull the trigger, and then shabam, you're.
So I'm not talking about
Shabam.
banning. I'm not saying ban all guns. I'm saying, look, I get the amendment. Okay, fine. Given I'm half Australian, so I come from a lineage.
no guns.
No guns.
Yeah.
No guns out
And
there.
literally, what did I describe to you guys when I lived over in Sydney before I moved back?
And also
Safest place I've ever lived.
Yeah.
explain to people who don't know why there are no guns in Australia.
There was the equivalent to one of our sadly recent school shootings on Tasmania, the island off of Australia, I believe in the 80s, late 80s. And the Prime Minister proposed that a ban on all firearms.
Mm.
Which the country voted in. Like the
Yeah.
citizens voted it in. And then now you can get like a hunting rifle if you live in the bush on a farm, whatnot. And there's still ways to do it, but in cities,
It's like an absolute no.
Yeah.
which i.e. in Australia, it's coast and coast. There's
Right.
nothing really. It's all around the rim. So there's nothing in the middle really. And then, so the people that need rifles for their farms and whatever are to stop, dingoes, whatever, from going and encroaching on their.
And
Or
I don't.
huntsman spiders.
Well, the thing is, I don't know how it is.
Huntsman spiders are in the city. That's no joke, ladies and gentlemen. They're the size of your fucking fist, and they'll just plant on your wall and be like, "I live here now, bitch."
yeah.
Come at me,
fuck
bro.
that shit.
No.
I'm not a fan of spiders.
And like, I don't know how it is out there, but
Mhm.
like, are you allowed to? Do you know if you're allowed to, like, game? Can you hunt
Yeah, you
for
can.
food?
Yeah.
Like, because I have friends.
Oh, hunting as a sport?
You can.
Well, but you're gonna eat it.
Yeah,
You're gonna
you-
eat
Oh,
the food.
okay.
You can also go to
because I have friends
yeah.
that do that out here, and like, I mean, it's a very select few because you need a storage locker that can.
And that
hold
I don't
all
look down
this.
on.
I don't look
Yeah.
down on that. Like, yes, I love fucking animals, and
healthier.
I think like, they're great and they serve a part in our ecosystem or whatever.
Now,
but
if we had a responsible food industry that didn't put all this shit in our grocery store meat, then I would probably be against it if they put what's really coming out of the animals.
right, right.
And you didn't have to pay that premium for organic or just to make sure your fucking chicken doesn't have hormones and steroids in it.
All organic, free range.
Yeah, it's
that Kobe
healthier.
beef.
It's 100% healthier. And yeah, you can. There's and I actually really found this out because I don't know anybody personally in Australia that has hunted over there, but I learned it from this Aussie Adam Greentree, who's been on Joe Rogan's podcast a bunch. Who's hunted over here. He travels around the world.
I don't even know what they would hunt. What do you hunt over there? What do you eat that you can hunt over there?
What was it? I forget. I think it's elk.
Elk?
I think it's elk. Yeah, and you can go New Zealand as well because they have to cull. They have to cull these animals because it's similar to, deer at certain parts of this country.
Right.
Where it literally, or kangaroo.
So you can eat that?
They sell kangaroo meat in grocery stores there.
I don't know this, that's why I'm
really.
It's actually quite tasty, I will say. It's actually good. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's good. It's really lean. It's healthy. It's really healthy for you. It costs a bit more than beef and stuff like that in grocery stores. There, you can go in a grocery store in Sydney and buy that. They actually we actually found out, which we mentioned on the first episode, that they banned it in California, kangaroo meat.
Really?
I didn't
Why?
even know it was
PETA.
legal to begin with.
PETA, because the guy at shouts out Harmony Farms.
Well, do they not have it out in Australia though? Do they not have like PETA out in Australia? Like, are they not trying to save the animals out there? Like, that's
well,
what I
I'm
don't
sure-
get. Like,
Well,
I actually
Australia is
don't
like the mecca of a lot of animal population, isn't it?
well, I know, but they're shipping it out here. It's not like we have kangaroos just chilling.
Oh yeah, I
Right,
can't say I've seen
right.
a kangaroo in LA.
Yeah, like that's what I'm
That'd
saying.
be fucking dope, yo.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
Not dope.
Great white buffalo.
Not dope.
Great white buffalo. No, I mean, yeah, they banned it here. I think maybe because PETA mainly operates on and Jken blowing the vapes in Carter's face.
Not
The
feeling
look
that
of
shit.
disdain on Carter's face right now. I swear to God, ladies and gentlemen. No, I think you might be right. I mean, I hope you're looking this up right now, but if you're not,
I'm not.
oh, okay. He's honest. I think that, yeah, I think PETA may operate on a solely American basis.
So it's not international.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I can't say I'm well versed
By
in
that
their
logic,
schedule.
I'm just saying, and even the fact that it's banned just in the state of California and not the U.S.,
Mhm.
I don't know how that, maybe it was like PETA's California branch fought for it.
Yeah.
And they banned it. But the thing is, like when I was talking about Aussie friend Matt, while he was here, our Aussie friend Matt.
Shout outs to Matt.
Shout out, Matt.
Shouts out Aussie Rusco.
There's still stains around my apartment from the recent party.
Oh God, that was fucking fun. That was so many people bailed.
Yeah, people started cruising out probably around like 12:31.
Man, I was foul. I was ready for a rager. I low key, you told me 20 people. I invited 40
Yeah, it definitely.
because I overcompensate.
Well, I also had like a ton of leftover alcohol from my birthday, so I was like, you know what, more the merrier because I can't drink all this
shit, bitches. Has to go somewhere, and it's not going to. Yeah.
It's not going to PETA.
It's not good.
It's not
Which,
going
by
to-
the way, I've actually gone to a PETA event.
really.
Yeah, I went to an event. It was it's like $250 for a ticket.
Whoa.
Yeah, I got gifted a ticket and I went to the event. It was super great. And I was just like, man, like, no wonder they have such power. Like, there were so many wealthy people there.
Sure.
You weren't finding like the Greenpeace people there. It was
Right.
very like prestigious, like wealthy people.
Well, and I think any charity you'll get that though.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of
Philanthropic
fundraisers,
people.
it's like you're looking at like board members
Yeah.
and, investors and
Yeah, I mean, and there was a ton of people. We're at this mansion in Bev Hills, and I was like, wow, dude, like they do well. They
course.
definitely like have a good market going on. But that's why I'm saying, like, when they want to ban kangaroo meat, I'm like, why are you banning out of country
Because they're not thinking
food?
because they're not thinking biologically. In the same breath, the same place had camel meat. actually in the same
There's
breath.
camel meat in Australia?
No, it's camel meat here, bro.
Here.
There's camels in Australia though, which fucked me up when I found that out. Just saying.
God.
Yeah, they have camel races. It's weird. It's in Alice Springs. It's in the middle of nowhere.
I mean,
It's
like
crazy.
if Australia had a problem with kangaroo population like dying out, yeah, I totally understand why you'd want to cut that.
Sure.
Like outsourcing. But
Outsourcing camel meat?
Oh, cheers, bro.
any kind of meat. If it's from an animal that's like going endangered or
Like an indigenous...
like something that's like there's not a lot of or not thriving.
Yeah, it's like if Americans were like, we eat bald eagle here.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like, you know, oh yeah, they banned shipping that out. You can't have that anymore. It's like,
It's just about being conscious of the population of that specific animal.
Yeah, whereas they're seen as pests. Like
exactly.
in certain neighborhoods.
I'm not
they really
hearing
are.
Australia,
Which
or
I don't get with.
I'm not
but-
hearing Japan be like, oh, we put a ban on squirrels. Like, you know, like squirrels, like, fool, we hate those things. Shoot those things with our BB guns. Like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I've never done that, by the way. I've never done that.
He's a low-key psychopath.
I shot a squirrel once with a BB gun. That shit freaked me out. That made me learn about mortality in a very visceral, fucking real way.
Wow, taking the life of an animal
I was back east at a family house in Massachusetts, and I was shooting off the deck with like one of those pump air Walmart BB guns.
Those things are strong, by the way.
I shot a
they're
squirrel when I was
strong.
13. I freaked out. I was crying for 2 days.
You kill him?
I didn't touch it.
Oh.
Well, it's probably
Well, then
good.
why-
He could have been
No,
like...
he was dead.
you know,
Wait, so you killed him?
Yeah.
yeah, well, he approached it. He didn't,
I just said it made
fondle
me learn
with his
about
hands.
mortality. Yeah. No, I did. But
Good shot, man. Good shot. Be proud.
I named him Larry. Rest in peace, Larry.
Larry.
You named him before or after you shot him. Like, you know, like, I don't know. I was with one of our friends, and
I'm not Casey Anthony
We
naming
should-
my baby after I kill it.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
See, like, approach the scroll.
dude, we
I
shot-
named you Larry. And
we
may
were
you rest in
it's
peace.
crazy though, because we were
Robert
shooting
Paulson.
raccoons. We were shooting raccoons
Yeah.
with these BB guns. Man, I gotta tell you,
Why'd you shoot a raccoon?
because like we had a cat at the time, and the raccoons kept eating all the fucking cat food,
Oof.
and we finally caught him because we knew when he was coming around when we put the food out, and then he came out. And we like wanted to shoot him to scare him off. We knew it wasn't killing him. By the way, if you ever seen like a fully grown raccoon,
They're big.
They're big.
Oh, yeah, they're really
They're
big.
big. Man, this
Size of your leg.
dude, we shot him in the ass like several times. That fool looked back like we were idiots. He ate the food while we shot him. And he scurried away. And I was like, dude, why aren't we eating raccoon meat?
He just looked at you like, fuck boy, I've been through this shit before.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say one thing. LA animals definitely go through, they're more like acclimated to
People pestering them.
people.
What was it? One of the best animal jokes, which there aren't many really good animal jokes that hit, but it was Robin Williams, rest in peace, when he was live on Broadway, his live on Broadway show, he was joking about New York rats. It was like, raid! He was like, I eat pussy, literally.
Like facts, dude. Facts.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Cheers, guys. To
Yeah,
Tito's.
Cheers.
Oof. Young Tito.
Young Tito.
That tastes like gas.
No, it tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Pretty sure we can still put that in our car.
You're so
You guys
nice.
are tripping, dude. It's corn based, all right? It's corn based.
Oh, speaking
the-
of which, when we go out to Missouri, are we getting Everclear? We're getting Everclear?
I mean, I'm not drinking
I'm
it.
never touching that again. I've tried
Oh,
it
can
one
we tell that
time.
story? Oh, please let us tell that story.
That's your
Which
call,
one?
man.
The one in Missouri where you almost blew your thumb off with a firework.
Yo, fireworks? No joke.
Yeah.
No joke.
There's a reason there's a warning label on those explosives.
So it was a mortar firework, ladies and gentlemen. And we were having a little too much fun, as kids do, but we're grown adults, and we should have thought more properly, but alcohol was involved. And that skews your judgment.
Yeah, responsibility
just a
just went
tad.
right out the window.
Oh, completely. Yeah, right out the fucking,
Okay, hold on. In my defense,
what defense do you have?
alcohol was not the issue. It was just so dark out.
It was pitch
I
black.
didn't
yeah.
know. I didn't see like you had to unravel the fuse.
Yeah.
Well, it was like a faulty fuse too, wasn't it?
So I think the fuse was just super wound up. And when
I don't think it was faulty. It lit right away.
It lit right away, but I think since it was wound up, when I lit it, it like jumped to a shorter distance.
Yeah.
You know, like I think because it was wound, it just lit to a different point, and that's my defense on it. Okay. It was super dark out and I couldn't see that.
Yo, whatever happened when that mortar came out, it hit the side of your hand with some other shit. And then
it basically blew up as I was throwing it.
Yeah. As he was throwing it, yeah.
So his hand was pretty much singed with burns.
Yeah.
He looked like a carny on his off night.
Yeah, it was bad. It hurt.
It was
really bad. That's also how I know alcohol was an effect, because it hurt so goddamn bad.
And what do good friends do, Jken?
They pour Everclear on my hand.
They bring you into the kitchen.
Yeah.
Carter and I hand you a paper towel. We had a handle of Everclear because our friend likes to clean with it when he comes home.
It is a great cleaner for those of you that don't know.
Yeah, because it's pure fucking ethanol. And it'll kill anything.
Pretty much.
And what is Carter's line beforehand? You might want to bite on this. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah,
a lot.
so I grabbed some paper towels and pretty much like crinkled them together. I was like, you're gonna want to bite on this because it's really gonna hurt right now. And I could definitely see at that time in Jken's eyes, he was just like, oh my god, this is gonna suck. And
because I think like low key, I think if any of you guys ever watch movies where they pour alcohol on the wounds, and like I kind of always thought like that can't hurt as bad as it looks, like blah blah blah. Yeah, no, totally wrong. It hurts. Like I didn't think it would hurt as bad as it did, especially like since I've had like scrapes and stuff. You put hydrogen peroxide on. When you're older, you're like whatever. It like stings a little. It does not sting a little. It burns terribly.
Yeah, well, plus we're also using like the most potent alcohol, possible. It's actually illegal here in California.
It is illegal. It is illegal here.
And just a future reference to, listeners, not all alcohol can be used to clean wounds. So just keep that in mind.
Like there has to be a percentage of alcohol content. All right, guys, don't be buying like Jack Daniels and pouring that on wounds thinking it's going to clean it.
Okay? Yeah, you can't have like a big cut and be like, hey, hand me a Coors Light. Things will work out fine. Let me pour it.
For everybody out there who's seen a fucking war movie and they pull out the flask with whiskey in it and pour it in their fucking wound.
That better be some high ass content whiskey.
It's Jack Daniels. It'll work.
It better be some bloody moonshine.
Yeah, that has to be something really high.
No, it does not work at all. But we learned our lesson. But
I
sadly,
definitely learned my lesson.
Not enough, because we'll probably be buying fireworks soon enough again.
Oh,
yeah. Well, we got a couple weeks?
Couple weeks.
End of the month.
Yeah,
end of the month, and you guys should tune in because we will be doing another podcast out in Missouri.
Out in Missouri, on the farm.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna do one out on the farm.
Hopefully, we need to actually bring the GoPro and get some footage on this shit, though.
You're welcome. I have it. I got all the setups.
Yeah, let's do it. Dial it in.
If you guys would like to see footage of this, if you're bored at work or something, and you want to like actually watch us do this too, we got you covered.
Oh yeah.
Hey, this is just the life we live. I mean, it's not. At times it's extravagant. At times it's not. But at least we can relate to everybody, and I think that's the goal of this. Is honestly, it's just feeling like, to everybody, like we were going back to at the beginning of this. For anybody that's struggling with the relatability, which is why I feel like that was the mission statement, at least for myself, of wanting to start this, of like, you know what, you're not alone. Like there's a bunch of people out here. Thankfully, I have my family, i.e. Jken, Carter, Jay, Sam, and everybody else who's not necessarily directly affiliated with the podcast. Like, you're not alone here. Like everybody goes through similar things, has similar things to laugh about. Let's just have a good fucking time and laugh about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And too many people are politically correct. And I want to break that monotony.
I hate it.
Everybody's very self-conscious about what they say. I hate it so much. For me, when it comes to like the mission goal of this podcast, it's three best friends that are talking about a topic and we all can share different perspectives, but still at the end of the day, love each other and be like, yo, what's good, dude?
And that's how you guys should feel about your lives.
Yeah.
When you guys are listening, like, just know, like, you got hardest thing to do, but if you can learn to do it, it's great. Brush shit off.
Yeah.
Brush it off. If someone pisses you off at work, guess what? Leave it at the door. Go home happy. Go home because you're not there anymore. And don't feel stressed out when you got to go back to work. Go back, get on the grind, crush that shit. Be proud when you leave, being like, fuck it. I had some assholes as clients, but you know what? I fucking owned it and I fucking came out great. And that's everything you can do. It doesn't take money. It doesn't take anything. It only takes yourself. And you can fucking be that person.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's internal. Yeah,
That
for
was
real.
Very well put.
That was very well put. That was
Got
eloquent.
you. Yeah.
He has his moments, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I have my moments.
No, I mean, like, yeah, and that's the thing. It's humanizing. Like everybody fucks up. It was like, you know,
Yeah.
It's
like
the
you
only
and
way
I
to learn.
like you and I were
Nature,
talking
dude.
about the other night, like when I was a drunken fool, and did some shit like where it was just, you know, pushed boundaries a little too much of, you know, just being a little too Daffy Duck at the party and whatever and things, you know, and overstepped, and you know, you apologize, you come back from it.
You learn from your mistakes. It's the only way to
You know,
grow.
there is definitely a line, a Harvey Weinstein line type right now, where it's like, yeah, there are lines that you don't cross that you can't come back from.
Yeah.
And anything that comes close enough to the sun, you recognize that and you come back from that.
And you do your best to come back from that, you know?
Yeah, when you
do
get
your
cinched,
best.
you put Everclear on it.
Jesus Christ.
Literally, for everything else, there's Everclear. Who the fuck makes Everclear?
God, I have no idea, but whoever they are, they might be alcoholics, possibly.
I'm glad they don't legalize that here.
I'm gonna laugh if they're sober.
I would, yeah, that would be fucked.
I don't touch it. I'll just make it.
Actually, one of the last topics that I wanted to go over, and Jken, I actually want to know how you were feeling about this. Did you hear about this headline of James Gunn getting canned off of Guardians 3? Did you hear about that?
I did hear
And then
about
what
that.
Dave Bautista said
did hear
about
about
who's
that.
the lead writer for the
Yes.
series. So how do you feel about that? Essentially, the story is that James Gunn has been canned by Marvel, and it's still in purgatory as to whether or not he'll be back. For those of you who don't know, James Gunn is the actor who plays Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, who's one of the best characters,
Oh, yeah.
easily. Second to, you know, from my favorite, Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Bradley Cooper.
Rocket Raccoon is amazing.
But James Gunn is being put on the cross for tweets he made.
What, 2009?
Something crazy.
Yeah,
like
it's
a
like
decade.
years ago. Like, yeah, approximately like a decade ago.
And the internet dug it up. Somebody threw a fit. And I dare say that was before his acting career really started, like where he was really taking a passion towards acting, and all of this happened, obviously.
Where he like really made like a mark in the industry.
Exactly,
And now
yeah.
he's on blast because he's, you know,
And
in the limelight.
And thankfully, he has somebody like Dave Bautista to go to bat for him and be like, you know what? I wrote this screenplay with him in mind specifically because he's sort of a cornerstone of what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
If you let him go, I'm walking. And
That's
I like
right,
the
yeah, I saw
solidarity
that.
of that, because it's like you can't hold just some idiotic tweets if nothing else has been said since. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, once again, there's lines you can't come back from.
Did
in
he
life.
make any like public apology for the tweets from 10 years ago? Or
I'm sure he has by now. I would think
Yeah.
he has. I haven't seen any. I'm sure he has.
Well, it kind of like goes back to our discussion about, you know, we all, you know, make mistakes. The only way to learn is to come back from those mistakes and do it better.
Yeah, exactly. These people are actors, folks.
Yeah.
Like, these aren't, like, people are literally like, you're a superhero, though. You need to act like one.
Yeah.
Where it's like, dude, they're human.
Exactly. And it's a bummer that even though they're in the limelight, they're supposed to be held at this specific standard. The general population does not abide to that standard whatsoever.
Right.
So it's kind of hypocritical at the end of the day.
I think, it's solely hypocritical.
Yeah. And it's
You know?
like, hey, come on, you know, he did mess up. And, you know,
But then again, fucking like
Yes.
in May or some shit, like I'm reading a thing from TMZ, you know, how reliable, I don't know. But they were like, James Caan says, quote, James Caan says, quote, like, we're in a strange place where men can't hit women anymore.
whoa.
And yeah, you know,
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty gnarly.
and
dude.
it's more current from his like old dug up tweets or whatever the fuck, you know. And he's saying like, I guess like he has sexual misconduct allegations.
Oof.
and Khan's like, he like was talking about like raising issues, suggesting that like men and women have changed, which yes, I agree that
civilization has evolved. Hopefully,
we've definitely evolved.
At least
but
I like to think so.
But he thinks that it defies like natural instinct of attraction and, I guess I don't want to say violence, but
well, it sounds like it's a heteronormative thing.
yes, especially when it comes to the point of like,
what does heteronormative mean?
It's, just like, being heterosexual, like that's supposed to be the right way when there's
the woman stays at home.
Yeah.
And I go work.
Oh, right.
I bring the money.
There's
I say what I say goes.
Bullshit.
And that's bullshit.
That's
I think that's total bullshit.
Because there's nothing more attractive than a woman who's on top of her.
Because I'll tell you right now, where I live, I fucking split rent with my girl. I would not be able to. I could not support my life without my girl. Like, that's not even possible.
OJ killed his woman down the street. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God. But yeah, no, it's just, it's kind of like that conversation we had earlier.
All right, Johnny. Fucking hell.
It's just those stigmas that have been created from traditional views are still here today. And it's fucked because
it is.
It was like you said, I'd like to hope that we've, evolutionized as a society,
Evolved.
Did you say evolve? Whatever, same concept.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Same shit, different toilet.
I see what you're throwing down. I'm being an asshole.
But it's weird to see that these are still issues, this whole traditional view.
It's shameful.
We've totally evolved. I mean, like, there's so much shit out there, like, people probably don't even realize, like, here's an example. Like, I was talking to Carter about this when we went to Hard recently.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of our friends about one of the Marshmello and Lil Peep music videos that came out. And there's this actress in it, and she plays this role, does the whole music video. She talks about how she was worried she didn't want to like do Lil Peep wrong, R.I.P. and all this shit. And I think a lot of people don't even realize that girl in the music video, she's non-binary. That's a dude. That was.
It's an individual who identifies as a man.
It identifies as a man and woman, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's dope.
But and like everyone's like, oh my God, she's so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, see, y'all don't even care, maybe because you didn't know, but like you shouldn't care once you found out.
Right, no.
You know? And that's kind of like the day and age we're living, though, where it should not even fucking matter.
No.
Exactly.
I get it if maybe you're heterosexual and you find a chick at a bar and you go home and they whip a dick out. Yeah, that's maybe different. Like, that's a little...
But here's what I'm saying. Like, for example, like, say it's like a Tinder profile, right? And in this city, you'd be hard-pressed to find any guy that says this is fucking lying.
Oh,
you have swiped right on somebody who in their bio, because for the most part, unfortunately, ladies, guys don't read bios on dating apps that much.
There's a lot of guys that just swipe.
Don't even look. Right? And so
they'll decide later, which is terrible.
Yeah.
And so they swipe right, get matched, and then they read the bio. Or the chick in conversation is saying, I'm post-op. Mm-hmm. It's like, all of a sudden, what, are you going to be grossed out? It's like, no, you were attracted in the first place. It was like, just go with it then.
Yeah, I think
nobody's judging you at that point. It's like, just be yourself. Like, it's...
The big thing at the end of the day is it's about communication with whomever you are speaking with or, having interactions with. Just, be honest and put it out there. Because a lot of people are very, very shy to do that, which is completely understandable, especially in today's society.
Well, it's unfortunate because I feel like it's because of the constraints of being outcast.
Exactly.
At that point, like the minute, oh shit, somebody found out. It's like, oh, well, there goes that,
Exactly.
Right.
That possibility is out the window now. And it's like, it doesn't have to be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like you were attracted to the person in the first place. And I say person because gender is irrelevant at that point.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
I actually get annoyed when it's on both sides of the argument when it becomes terminology disputes.
About like identification.
When it's like, no, I prefer to be addressed this way. When
there's like
so
the
many
pronouns
there's
of
so
it.
many pronouns where it's like, please don't hate on me for not being able to keep track, because there's about
I'm not a
Yeah.
hater, but don't like knock on me just
Yeah.
because I said something wrong or I knew you as my boy
yeah
for however long, and now you've decided to go through a transition. Like, my bad for still calling you my boy.
yeah
Yeah, I
Like,
think
you know,
it's
I don't
just
mean
having
it
that
disrespectfully.
conversation.
Yeah.
You know, just being like, hey, you know, this is still very new to me, and I apologize if I offend you. I have no intentions of doing that. I'm just still
You want
learning.
people to be open-minded. Be open-minded yourself when people fuck up and make a
Yeah.
mistake. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
don't judge them and be like, they don't accept me because they said that. Well, no, dude, it was an accident. Like, all right, like, look, I don't know. Okay, don't judge me because of lack of knowledge or lack of pronoun or whatever. Like, that's not who I am.
Right.
Just like you're not how like you think I'm making you out to be.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
not the fucking case.
Yeah. So it's like, just treat people like people, and then it just goes that way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And lastly, before we outro this, I think that's a good note to end on, because it's kind of positivity and, like, you know, just be yourself and
Harmonious, you know, it's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
about,
yeah.
you know, being considerate of others, you know, regardless of background or not, you know, just have that conversation. Be like, hey, what's up? Da 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 da. This is my name. This is your name. Let's be friends.
There you go. That's all we promote. It's like good friendships and hopefully lasting relationships that are healthy. And if it's not healthy, either find help for them or drop those motherfuckers, because they're not helping you at all.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
suck. Peace.
You know, if they have a bad impact on your life, fuck them. And you know they have a bad impact on your life, especially
Yeah.
fucking get them out of your life. Lastly, Carter actually didn't remember who the fuck made this album, and I'm kind of disappointed in you.
Oh, God,
and I just
yeah.
want to say happy 7th anniversary to Watch the Throne, because we missed the real Ye. And that's no cliche bullshit. I actually, like, my real friends know me, and I know the lineage of this shit. And I actually really miss the headspace that Kanye used to be in. And I think that I'm not the only one who will say that I hope it gets back to that point where you have that, you know, Jedi Master level.
Don't be so
Well,
try
It's
hard.
such like a
creativity.
linguistic flow.
It's not even try hard at this point, man. He's going through his own real mental battles and his own tribulations with his own stuff that I hope he weaves his way through. But yeah, happy 7th anniversary to Watch the Throne. That album's a classic, a fucking classic. For those of you who
Shit, is
don't,
that be?
Carter's allergic. Get the EpiPen now.
I don't have one. I couldn't afford it.
And yeah, and another status I put up is, I don't know if you guys heard it yet, Travis Scott's Astroworld is Astroworld.
Yeah. It's lit.
It's dope.
I
And
like
it's the
it.
album that Kanye, this is the prodigal son of Kanye.
I didn't even like Travis Scott before.
Really?
Yeah, for a long time I didn't like him. Also, I just didn't listen to that music.
Okay.
But I did listen to that album while I was at work today.
Dude, the sonic textures and that shit. Like,
Wait, who did Paper Trails?
That's T.I.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Who
Tip.
am I thinking of? He was in Mr. Robot.
What fucking rapper?
There
was
was
it?
a rapper that was in Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
I didn't know
He was
that was a cameo
so
of Mr. Robot.
sick. He's like an infusion of New York 90s flow with like today's raw hip hop.
Oh, Joey Badass.
There you
There
go.
you
Thank
go.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I totally forgot Joey Badass was in that shit. Yeah, the scene with him on the basketball court, and then he had in the second season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Joey Badass is super sick. Shout out. I don't know. I just feel like his flow, the lyricism just brings you back to like, you know, old 90s hip hop of like Mobb Deep, you know, Biggie, you know, just like, no, I'm all about it.
I love that, you know, and just last note I'm gonna say before we cut anything is I was really stoked for this artist I personally love, is this dude Nothing Nowhere.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan of him. Love his music, and he has like a really like 90s retro vibe to his music and music videos. Like they look like they're all shot on VHS, which I really love. And he was going on tour recently, and I was stoked. I was ready to buy tickets, And then he just put out a post on like Instagram or some shit, and he was like, "Hey guys, tour's canceled.
Really?
Going through some really bad depression, and
Oh,
I've
man.
decided to
Oof.
seek professional help."
There you go.
And I was like,
That's
big
big.
ups for getting the professional help. Like, like maybe he'll talk to Carter. I don't know, but
Hope
yeah,
so.
it's a drag, and it's a real thing. So
Well, that self-awareness is what's so important.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all I gotta say about that.
No, that's a great note to leave it on. I'm gonna play this out with this new track by this artist I found who's actually from West Philly. It's this dude Pink Sweats. The link's in the bio and the description. He spells his name Pink as the color, space, Sweats, but the S on the end of Sweats is with the $sign. This song is called No Replacing You.
Smoke in my lungs. I've got liquor on my breath. I know it ain't fair, girl. When you need me, I ain't there. No, I ain't there. But when I'm at my lowest, so vibrant too. Don't matter the problem, it's always you. Give me no reason to question you. Give me no reason to question you. So when I'm in the hills, make sure I enjoy that view. When I'm counting dollar bills, you know I'm always split with you. And I know that if I fall, you gon' jump in too. Girl, just know that if you go, ain't no replacing you. You say that I'm selfish. Get it all off your chest. If we're being honest, without you I'm a mess. Cause when I'm at my lowest, so I run to. No matter the problem, it's always you. Give me no reason to question you. Give me no reason to question you. So when I'm in the hills, make sure I enjoy that view. When I'm counting dollar bills, you know I'm always split with you. And I know that if I fall, you gon' jump in too. Girl, this